in a timeout, and I said, is Michael okay? Yeah, he's ready to go. I went, what? He acted like he got shot. We were ready to go, and I said, run up and down the court. I wanted him to run to see that he wasn't fooling me. I'm like, I shook my head. I said, oh my gosh, okay, go back in.
Hey, when you got that much heart, nothing hurts.
Absolutely.
Welcome to the Red and Blue Review. We are talking basketball, the red and the blue version, and Daryl actually with a little history as Kentucky is celebrating 2 SEC basketball championships.
How about that? In back-to-back days, Saturday the UK men win their 45th SEC championship. I think the next closest has 6, Alabama. A day later, the women win their first SEC regular season title in 30 years. Pretty amazing.
And it's amazing to think that that's one of the few feats in the SEC that Kentucky wasn't first at. LSU was actually the first program for their men and their women to win the SEC title in the same year. Say hello to Howie Lindsay. The men and the women doing pretty well at Louisville.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Got NCAA tournament teams for both. I think both are battling for their lives right now. The women certainly hampered by injuries. The men still trying to figure out their lineup. And, you know, it looked like Louisville was going to run away with one at Pitt. They're up 10 or so. And then Pitt kept sneaking back in and making everybody really nervous.
Well, we're getting ready to jump into the lightning round where our hot players for red is barely 6 feet tall and the hot player for blue is almost 7 feet tall, and then it's all coming your way right now. The lightning round is brought to you by the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety, who are asking me to remind you to click it or ticket. Who's hot at the University of Kentucky? It has to be Anthony Davis. 28 points, 11 rebounds in that big weekend win over Vanderbilt. And this kid really is a coach's dream. He plays hard, he hustles, and he plays unselfishly.
I've been holding him back. I'm trying to get him to stay in school another year. After the game, I just told everybody they did what they did and how good, and I said, you were pretty good too. And the whole bunch of the whole team started laughing. They thought it was hysterical. He's a good kid. He's just unselfish. He only took 11 shots. He made 10. And you tell me, if you're that kid blocking shots, rebounding balls, you're not trying to take 20 shots?
Well, he was assertive and aggressive offensively today, and I mean, again, it was a terrific performance. I think we helped him some. I think that our defense at times was pretty suspect with him. He's special. He's different. He's a different kind of player, and he'll. And again, I'm very impressed with how he goes about his business, not just how he plays.
Maybe Vanderbilt and Kevin Stallings' defense was suspect because there aren't any other 6'11" guys who can do that right there. You can't start at the top of the key and drive all the way to the lane and lay in a scoop shot, and you sure as heck aren't going to have anybody that can defend it at 6'11". You're going to put somebody small on him. He's just going to dunk it right over the top of him. Outstanding game. He may have wrapped up Player of the Year, or certainly changed a lot of minds on National Player of the Year as well as Defensive Player of the Year, because this game was on CBS, national TV, just barely a week, 10 days away from postseason tournament starting. Huge night to come out with your best game of the year.
Daryl, I heard one of the talking heads on ESPN this weekend say that he doesn't think Anthony Davis should be the player of the year because he says some teams would be bad without their best player. He said Kentucky would still be good without Davis. What a crazy way to disqualify a kid.
Good, but probably the dumbest remark I've heard in a long time. I'm surrounded by good players, therefore I'm not as good. It's not like Marcus Teague is giving him a leg up to get all those blocks. He's doing that on his own.
Yeah.
He's getting all those lobs on his own. This is silly.
Who's hot for the University of Louisville is Russ Smith. This was some late voting against the Pitt game that swung it into his favor. 9 straight points against the Panthers, and I'm telling you, and so will Rick Pitino. Louisville does not have 22 wins this season without Russ Smith.
He's the one guy that's fearless, and let's face it, he's won about 4 or 5 games for us this year. He really has. If we can just get him, I live with it. I haven't coached. I guess I coached Antoine Walker. I could live with any type of shot. I could live with that. But he's got to stop with the game on the line. Stop reaching. Because could have gave up a 3 there when he went for the steal. We didn't need a steal. We need to stop the 3. So I'm just trying to get him to concentrate on defense. Offensively, I just let him have his way.
this kid just lives out loud. I mean, there's no other way to say it. He's just wild. When he gets a chance to go to the basket, he's taking it, and he's flying to the basket. Louisville needed to speed this game up as much as possible, and that's Russ Smith especially. I mean, really, without Russ Smith, they don't win this game. They don't win several other games this year, and they get blown out by 30 at Kentucky. So, I mean, he's just a special player, and you just have to wonder, had Wayne Blackshear been healthy the entire season, do we see Russ Smith? Maybe not. He might not have seen the floor because Wayne Blackshear would have been the starter and Chris Smith would have been the backup.
Howie, one of the things that Coach P said after the Pitt game was that Louisville has got to speed up the tempo.
Yes.
It's got to press more. Big East basketball has been difficult to watch. There's so few points being scored.
Right.
Cincinnati, South Florida, they combined for barely 90 points. What can Louisville do? You're not going to win a lot of NCAA tournament games scoring 55 points.
Well, you've got to speed it up. You've got to be able to get the ball very quickly out of the basket, quick outlet passes. Gorky Cheng was not doing a whole lot of that today. Shane Bohannon could be great at that in the future. I think for Louisville, it's about guards pressing the tempo as quickly as they possibly can. I think the other thing is not giving up those second possessions. Pitt was killing them on the offensive boards. You've got to get that offensive rebound and get going.
Who's not hot for the University of Kentucky was their preparation, if you will, for that game against Vanderbilt, because Cal will tell you, those guys just came into that game. They were not ready to play, and Cal was about to let them lose.
I just felt our shoot-around was just so-so, and I felt at the pregame, when I talked to them before they went on the court, I didn't like the stare I got from 2 or 3 of the guys. And so at the beginning of the game, I knew what was happening. And so I just told them, I said, hey, I took guys out, I sat Terrence out, and you got to be ready to play every game. You got to figure it out. They play together, they play off of one another, they make easy plays defensively, they're talking more, but we just have to have everybody ready to go to war every game. We don't have many left. 2 more league games, hopefully some in the tournament, and then we play on the real stage. We don't have many left.
You think it would be a no-brainer to come out absolutely on fire against Vanderbilt, but they just didn't. Marcus Teague started really, really slow. He had 3 turnovers in the first 2 minutes, and that compounded. He didn't have a very good game at Mississippi State. The good news, he turned it around and played better. Terrence Jones had to be one of those with the stare that Cal didn't like, because Darius Miller was off the bench at the scorer's table inside 12 seconds of the tip-off.
Wow.
And Terrence Jones is the one who came out. So it was just a tough day for them to get going. Darius wasn't shooting well. Deron Lamb wasn't shooting well. The good news, everybody fixed it by the end of the game, so you hope that was just a little anomaly there and you move on.
What's not hot for Louisville offensively is their streaky shooting. Against Cincinnati, Kyle Kuric went 0 for 11 against Pitt. He rebounded nicely, made 4 of 7 threes for 17 points in the ball game. Coach P was asked after the game if that bump in offense was needed for Kyle's confidence.
I really don't think so. I think that if he wasn't a 4-year vet that's made a lot of big shots, I think he's smart enough to know whether you're Michael Jordan or whether you go to the other spectrum, you're going to have a night where you don't make shots. Everybody has one of those nights, and he's very fortunate that he hasn't had more of those nights. So I don't think he thought about it at all. We didn't make any big deal of it at all.
You know, it's interesting with Kyle because I talked to him after the Cincinnati game, and the question was asked, is this your worst game? And he said no. You know, he's had worse games than this, and he was 0 for 11. You'd think his head would be down. Chris Smith was 0 for 4. Chris Smith was actually 0 for 4 again against Pittsburgh. Those guys, they have a certain confidence where you'd think because they miss all those shots they wouldn't. Hopefully they can keep that confidence and keep shooting. What really concerns me, though, is if Louisville's going to continue to have this kind of streak shooting and that kind of thing, they just don't have enough offensive options to make up for that. And Russ Smith can't really save you every time. So Kyle's got to be more consistent. Chris Smith definitely has to be more consistent.
Interesting thing Coach P said after that win over Pittsburgh was that one of the reasons Chris Smith is not being effective is they're having to play a half-court game, and he needs to play at a faster tempo.
Yeah, he needs to get out and run. I mean, that's really what he does well. I think, you know, on the break he's fantastic. He loves to dunk, that kind of thing. I haven't seen him dunk in a long time.
Yeah.
And I think, too, when he's in a half-court game, he lets Peyton Siva just kind of jitterbug around and he doesn't really move at all.
Yeah. The buzz at the University of Kentucky it is Darius Miller's time. Darryl asked Coach Cal on Saturday why it seems that Darius Miller starts slow but then comes and rescues the thing at the 10-minute mark left in the ballgame.
I was upset with him in the first half because I thought he passed up 2 shots, and he did because he was 0 for 5. And I said, that's the old you. You got to keep shooting. You can't do that to your team.
He's a good player. I really like him. I like how he plays. I like how he acts. Now, I don't coach him, so I'm not the authority on it, but I admire him as a player, and he makes big shots. He's a big shot maker and a really good player for them. He's really, in my opinion, appears to have sacrificed himself for the benefit of their team, and he's a big reason why they're something in one.
You got to love Darius, but for crying out loud, he will not take a compliment. I tried 1,000 different ways in the post game. So, why? What is it about? Why do you turn it on? The clock goes under 10 minutes. Here comes Darius to save the day. A, I don't know. B, my teammates are just giving me a lot of good looks. Well, you had the same looks in the first half.
Yeah.
You weren't hitting those shots. Game on the line, it gets a little tight. They all, and I did talk to the other players, the younger guys are expecting it with less than 10 minutes to go. They're looking for Darius. If they're in trouble, they know he's the one, he's the veteran. He can calm them down. Just get the ball over to number one. He'll make a shot for you.
The hometown of the Louisville Cardinals isn't just Louisville, it's now Denny's Louisville. Denny Crum, as you know, has his name on the inside at the Yum Center. Now his image is going to be on the outside of the arena. Keep an eye on the program that he led to 2 national titles. Crum is the latest Louisvillian to be honored by having his photo on display on the courtyard across from the arena on now the Marriott.
That picture was taken at the 500th victory. So that was a special time, and while I don't have as much hair, or it's a lot grayer now, so's yours. Yeah, it's a great honor, and it's an honor to be a part of being a hometown boy. And even though I wasn't born here, I've been here 41 years, so I guess I can be considered hometown now.
I think it's absolutely tremendous, and I love these big posters. I don't know about you guys, but that's such a cool idea to see all the famous folks from Louisville, and there are a lot. I mean, Denny is the 20th. It surprised me a little bit that it took him this long to get Denny a poster like that. I guess maybe because he's from the West Coast originally, but he's our adopted coach and that kind of thing. But what a cool honor. It was great to see Scotty Davenport here today, and then honoring DeJuan Wheat during the game. It was like a throwback day at Yum Center.
We've been fortunate to cover a lot of people in my sportscasting career. There is no one I place on a more classy level than Denny Crum. I mean, that guy has done it well for a long time. And Coach, congratulations, and you have most certainly earned it. Hey, you want to win something that will have you being the envy of everybody in Kentucky? It is tickets to the SEC men's basketball tournament. Ken Tower is giving it away. It's a great trip. They're going to give you 2 tickets, 3 nights at the New Orleans Marriott. Denny's picture's not on that one yet. A $500 gift card for fuel, which ought to be about a half a tank at this point. Go to Ken Tower's Facebook page. Register to win those 2 SEC tickets. It's going to be given away this week, so you got to get rolling. When we come back, you'll hear from a coach who says Kentucky is classy, and he's not even coaching them. That's after we hear from Daryl about the newest edition of the Catch Ball.
Thank you, sir. Now, who might you put on the cover after that game?
Oh, I know.
How about Dynamite Davis? How about that career-high 45th SEC title? Tremendous game. If he keeps cranking it up, look out come March Madness. 35 issues per year, 800-641-3302.
Have you driven a Ford lately? Well, stop by Allstate Ford and test drive a new Explorer or F-150. Or visit us online at allstatetrucks.com. Allstate Ford, on the Waterson at Poplar Level Road.
If you're like me, you're dreading the thought of higher energy costs this season. That's why I call my friends at Doug Jones Home Improvement, who's been doing quality work at a fair price for over 40 years. Doug Jones Home Improvement offers maintenance-free replacement windows, insulated vinyl siding, and airtight entry doors. They're priced fairly with no high-pressure sales tactics or hidden fees. Doug Jones Home Improvement prides itself on keeping the weather outside while keeping you comfortable inside.
For a free estimate, call us at 366-0291.
When you need a truck, Bachman Chevrolet is your truck headquarters. I'm Teresa Bachman. Even during our construction, we have more trucks than any other dealer. Silverado, Colorado, Tahoe, or Suburban, Bachman is your #1 Chevrolet truck dealer. Nobody beats Bachman's price or selection on any Chevrolet, including Traverse and Equinox. Chevrolet has what you need, and Bachman Chevrolet has what you want. Bachman makes the difference.
We're the Secra family. Our family is just like yours.
We have a lot to be thankful for.
We used to take a lot of things for granted, including each other.
Until one day,
When in an instant,
A drunk driver almost took it all away. Now we cherish every moment together.
we have to.
because we might not be as lucky next time.
What about you? It happened to us.
It can happen to you.
Join the club at Sam Swope Auto Group. When you service a vehicle at any Sam Swope dealership, you automatically become a Service VIP Rewards member. You get member pricing on parts and service, lost key return, and emergency roadside assistance. Plus, you can earn points that qualify you for discounts on your next vehicle purchase, up to $2,500. The best part is becoming a member is free. Become a member today at any Sam Swope dealership. Nobody walks away because everybody saves.
The 2012 Bluegrass Golf Tour Card is available now. Play 8 great courses for one amazing price. Call 502-964-2121 or go to shop21live.com to get yours now. Hurry, they won't last long.
Let's talk last-minute misses and classy cats in our Game Time storylines. You've heard folks saying all year, maybe Kentucky ought to lose another one before they get into the NCAA tournament, and for a while on Saturday, Cal was about to let that happen.
On the other side of it, I looked at my staff and I said, you know, I'd like to let this one go, the way they started, to prove a point. I'm about to let this one go. And then I said, I can't. I just don't have that in me. But believe me, I said it to my staff because you got to learn a lesson from it. But their will to win, their ability to execute down the stretch and defend and take everything up a notch, you know, is pretty amazing.
How many games in a row now have we witnessed? Well, let's see how UK handles this, X, Y, and Z. They've handled them all. They've struggled with all of them, and they ended up winning the game anyway. They were down to Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's playing well. Vanderbilt in Nashville punched them in the mouth. Mississippi State, biggest deficit of the year at the halftime. They keep winning these games, so maybe you don't have to take the loss as long as you keep on winning when you have to.
Louisville could have had last-minute wins this week against Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, but in that Cincinnati game, Rick needed a dead-eye shooter at the end of the game and didn't have one.
Yeah, he had a wide-open shot. He didn't make it. You know, and that I knew he was 0 for 10, but Chris was 0 for 4. He's our best three-point shooter. I had no substitutes to run it for. And I knew we would stagger picking for the two-man. I knew we could get it with him coming off the screen. I knew he'd be wide open because they know we're going to screen for the other guy. So we faked it. He came off. He was open. Didn't make it.
Boy, Kyle Kuric had some really nice-looking looks at the basket against Cincinnati, and he just couldn't get him to fall. Finished the game 0 for 11, and that one right there was the killer. Louisville down by 3, had a chance to get it. They run a play for Kyle. They double screen on one side, kind of a little fake play, and he just bricks it. I mean, and what's interesting to me though is they do similar things in this Pittsburgh game. They get a shot for Kyle Kuric, and he nails it. Less than 3 minutes to go, he absolutely nails it. So I don't think Louisville's lost any bit of confidence in Kyle Kuric. I do think he had a terrible game, but I think his confidence is right back.
Kentucky is not only winning games, they're winning over the opposition. Vanderbilt coach Kevin Stallings says this is one bunch of classy cats.
But they're awfully good, and I really I like their team just from an opposing coach's standpoint because they try to play the right way. They're not out there running their mouths or doing things that I think are uncalled for and unsportsmanlike, and they just play the game, they play hard, and they play for each other, and I really respect that. And
I guess because we cover them day in and day out, you don't even slow down to pay attention. They're not mouthy. They don't get in anybody's face. The closest they had, the season opener, Terrence Jones had a slam dunk, and he kind of mugged for the camera, and Dick Vitale went all off on that. Well, Terrence got his when he played horrible in Indiana, and he had to fight his way back. So he's a little more humble than he used to be. The only hanging on the rim technical was Anthony Davis trying to save his life at Mississippi State, and that was a horrible call. These guys just go play. They don't even mouth during the game. There's no trash talking. Just play the game, and you try to match better than what we are, and we'll see how it goes.
Dale, that's been a theme in the post-game interviews this week. Andy Kennedy said the same thing.
Yep.
Billy Donovan said the same thing. It's spreading throughout the SEC.
Cal always says that's the kind of kids we recruit. I mean, you ask him about that, that's the...
I'm sorry, I can't take it. That is not the kind of kids that he's ever recruited. That's the kind of kids he's recruited at Kentucky.
Okay,
Definitely
then
not.
Last time I looked, this is a show about Kentucky.
Sorry.
Can we get security? This is not going as well as we had hoped. Hey, Anthony Davis is one of those guys that can clean up some bad defensive play around the perimeter for Kentucky. Sometimes Louisville expects the same out of Gorky Jang. He can do it, but it often leads to Gorky getting into foul trouble.
We just have to keep Gorky in the game and protect him, and we didn't. And it was a drive on his fourth foul that caused it. It was a drive getting beat off the bounce.
It was tough. A lot of fouls that Gorky had was on the fast break and caused some more turnovers as guards, and him just trying to get back and help and block shots. And we can't. We got to help him out. Just containing the ball and just do a better job at that because we really need him. He's a big part of our team, and we went on a drought when he went out.
This has got to scare you if you're a Louisville fan. I mean, not only does he get in foul trouble and take himself out of the game, against Pittsburgh, he just really wasn't into the game. So, and Louisville has to have Gorky Jang to be in the game to have a good team this year. I mean, they've got to have him in the game. What's interesting is all through the preseason, I was the one saying that, Kentucky's so thin on the post. If Anthony Davis gets in any kind of trouble, when in fact, Louisville's every bit as thin and probably thinner because, if Gorky gets any kind of foul trouble, if he takes himself out of the game, Louisville's in real trouble.
When we come back, you know that every week we highlight and honor a difference maker. We're going to tell you how you can be the difference maker this week as we head to the break. Howie's going to tell us about CardinalSports.com.
You got it. The best place to get all your post-game information, CardinalSports.com. We've got videos from the locker room. And, of course, football recruiting is nonstop. Louisville got a new football recruit on Sunday. Read all about him on CardinalSports.com.
The 2012 Bluegrass Golf Tour Card is available now. Play 8 great courses for one amazing price. Call 502-964-2121 or go to shop21live.com to get yours now. Hurry, they won't last long.
Have you driven a Ford lately? Well, stop by Allstate Ford and test drive a new Edge or Explorer. Or visit us online at allstatetrucks.com. Allstate Ford on the Watterson at Poplar Level Road.
Join the club at Sam Swope Auto Group. When you service a vehicle at any Sam Swope dealership, you automatically become a Service VIP Rewards member. You get member pricing on parts and service, lost key return, and emergency roadside assistance. Plus, you can earn points that qualify you for discounts on your next vehicle purchase, up to $2,500. The best part is becoming a member is free. Become a member today at any Sam Swope dealership. Nobody walks away because everybody saves.
If you're like me, you're dreading the thought of higher energy costs this season. That's why I call my friends at Doug Jones Home Improvement, who's been doing quality work at a fair price for over 40 years. Doug Jones Home Improvement offers maintenance-free replacement windows, insulated vinyl siding, and airtight entry doors. They're priced fairly with no high-pressure sales tactics or hidden fees. Doug Jones Home Improvement prides itself on keeping the weather outside while keeping you comfortable inside. For a free estimate, call us at 366-0291.
When you visit Kentucky and savor some of its unique experiences, you'll be surprised by how much your vacation really comes to life. To plan your Kentucky vacation, call today or visit KentuckyTourism.com.
The 2012 Bluegrass Golf Tour Card featuring Chariot Run, Bardstown Country Club at Maywood, Rosewood Country Club, Indian Springs, Cave Valley Golf Resort, The Falls Golf Resort, The Bull, and Stonecrest Golf Course is available now. Get your golf tour card and play 8 great courses with cart for one low price. Call 502-964-2121 or go to shop21live.com to get yours now. You can play anytime, but you must get your golf tour card now.
Our difference maker this week on the Red and Blue Review could be you, and we're going to tell you how we do that, because the difference makers really this entire month have been all the thousands of your neighbors who participated, including these two guys, in the Polar Plunge to benefit Special Olympics Kentucky. Special Olympics Kentucky capped off a months-long Polar Plunge campaign on Saturday. Nearly 1,200 plungers in Louisville jumped into the 39-degree water of the Ohio River. They raised over $325,000 and lowered their body temperatures.
How about you, Caleb?
I got like completely numb when I just jumped in, and when I tried climbing out, I couldn't really go because my legs were like frozen stiff. It was freezing cold. Your whole body like went numb, and then you couldn't feel anything.
Do you have any feelings now in your body?
Actually, I'm warmer than I was when I jumped.
I can't tell if she's laughing or crying.
I think she was crying.
I think her face is frozen.
Now, you guys got out of this pretty good. The water temperature was 39 degrees yesterday, 39.
Wow.
The air temperature was even colder than that. You guys had a pretty nice day in Lexington. It's 50 degrees. Not that the water wasn't cold.
Well, and the air was fantastic. The water was freezing.
Yes, the water was very breathtaking, shattering cold. You could stay dry the entire time.
And we would really love for you to participate. So last time we're going to talk about the Polar Plunge here. Help Daryl and Howie out. Now, their contest is over per se. Daryl won it, but we still need your help with Special Olympics Kentucky. You can donate to the Polar Plunge graphic. Go to SOKY.org and give, whether you're red or you're blue. You can donate on behalf of Daryl and Howie and help out those with special needs who want to participate in sports.
And I'm not betting Daryl ever again. I had to do the CATS cheer.
Yes, you
It's
did.
extremely embarrassing, and now there's video of it out there. Not a good
Forever.
thing. Forever.
Hey, Howie, I want to ask you one thing about it's pretty clear Kentucky's going to be the #1 seed, certainly in
Right.
the SEC tournament, maybe the national tournament. 20 seconds. Should Louisville want a bye in the Big East tournament, or do those guys need to play as much as they can?
You know, Rick Pitino first mentioned it, and I thought he was crazy. But now that I think about it, it's not that crazy of an idea. Get them more games.
That's what I think they ought to do. Hey, we'll see you back here next week on the Red and Blue Review.
The 2012 Bluegrass Golf Tour Card featuring Chariot Run, Bardstown Country Club at Maywood, Rosewood Country Club, Indian Springs, Cave Valley Golf Resort, The Falls Golf Resort, The Bull, and Stonecrest Golf Course is available now. Get your golf tour card and play 8 great courses with cart for one low price. Call 502-964-2121 or go to shop21live.com to get yours now. You can play anytime, but you must get your golf tour card now.